The neighbors are a big part of it.
Arlene Goldwater bought her home in the spring of 1969 for the asking price of
It was $37,500, which was more than I wanted to pay.
Newly married, Goldwater and her growing family moved to the developing subdivision of Henry Farm, a small enclave tucked between several bustling streets.
I didn't know a thing about the neighborhood, and now it would take a bomb to get me out of here.
I've always called us the best kept secret in Toronto.
Wendy Petkoff is the president of the Community Association. She has a wealth of knowledge about this area, especially the family who helped establish it. Petkoff told me about how this land was first granted to Henry Mulholland and his wife Jane in 1806. They worked the land to establish the first homes here.
Now, we're finding that a lot of young families are moving in, and we're really grateful for that because it really keeps the community going.
The original farm changed hands a few times, eventually ending back with the Henry family. In the 1920s, it was George Stewart Henry, a direct descendant of Henry Mulholland, who would bring the family into the modern age. Then, in 1930, Henry became Premier of Ontario, remembered for his work during the Great Depression of building roads across the province, including the expansion of the Don Valley Parkway and the 401. But just one day before his death in 1958, Henry sold the family farm to developers. That's when the current residents started to move in.
And everybody who moves in, the association makes a point of letting them know who we are and what we do and all the events. The association was founded about 50 years ago from a group of neighbors who decided that it was really important for this small enclave for everybody to know each other.
And those who have called this community home throughout the decades appreciate it.
I remember that was the year of the moonwalk and moon landing, and our neighbors across the street invited us over for a barbecue and to watch.
The place where the Mulholland family cairn once stood is where the Don Valley Parkway is now. When the highway was widened, it was moved to a park next to Betty Sutherland Trail in 1966. A reminder to the present-day residents of the hard work that went into bringing this community together.
I'd say the biggest challenge that we're probably going to face is hoping that we can keep the neighborhood somewhat connected. We are concerned about some of the old houses being torn down. There is quite a lot of development going on around us because we're on the subway line. That's a positive thing. I just think as long as we just stay focused and making sure that the neighbors know that we're all out there for them and that, we try not to make anybody a stranger here, no matter who they are.
At Shepherd and Don Mills, Daniel Barry, City News.